So namaste, good evening everybody. Welcome to our Anamkara Thursday night meditation program. So again, my deep pleasure and honor to be able to welcome you here with all my heart and all my love to our gathering for Thursday evenings and having this satsang, this time where we can really gather together and around the world and support each other and support the world by keeping alive the truth, the living experience of the divine presence that the many practices that we do individually and together really help us to embody and then walk into the world. And that's what this is all about. So with all my heart again, all my love, thank you for joining us this evening. And we're going to be starting in a moment with the opening mantras. And the opening mantras are an indication of what our highest nature is. And we'll talk a little bit more about mantra afterwards, because tonight is the chanting night. So this is our third Thursday of the month, and so we get into more of the practice of chanting. So we're going to begin with the opening mantras, to welcome the chant along. And even whether you're chanting or simply listening to it, we have to cultivate the awareness and the understanding that mantras is an entirely different language than is ordinarily running through our head and running through the world and running through the airwaves and running through broadcasts. And because the mind, the ordinary mind, tends to make things ordinary, it misses the profound nature of mantra. Mantra is a throb of the infinite. The real power of mantra is the consciousness itself that's encoded in mantra. So when we're chanting it, it's really both resonating throughout our entire body, but chanting aloud is also a practice that uplifts the world, because we're literally putting that out into the world. So it's for the benefit of ourselves and the benefit of all beings in the entire planet. So we'll begin with the opening mantras. Srimate Kali Mahadevi Ki Jai Gajananam Bhotaganari Sevitam Kalpita Jambu Palacharu Bhakshanam Umasutam Vinashakaratam Namami Vigneshwara Parapankajam Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Shri Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Om Shanti 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 Shri Mata Kali Mahadevi Ki Jai. So once again, I welcome you all this evening to our program. That silence, that stillness, is both the source of mantra and the gift of mantra. It takes us back into that. You know, there's tonight we're going to be doing some chants that come from the branch of yoga that's called Bhakti Yoga, in the Bhakti tradition. And Bhakti is the path of love, the path of devotion. So it's not unique to yoga in any way. It's just the name for that particular approach to how do we merge, how do we go into yoga, yoga meaning union, how do we experience that? Last week when we were talking about the 3rd chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, talking about the yoga of action, karma yoga, that's another branch. And so all these branches and all these forms of yoga are different ways of being able to enter into the state of union, the state that is really the substrate of our experience. It's the ground of our very being. And the different forms of yoga are different ways of accessing what's already there. And so with the Bhakti tradition, and the chant is a part of that, and of course we know that from other traditions. There are devotional music and chants that go in the Jewish tradition and the Christian tradition and the Sufi tradition. And so that the use of this kind of medium for being able to go beyond the mind, the Bhakti tradition and the chants are particularly aimed at that. But it's at the root really is mantra. And one of the things that we know as you go deeper into meditation and deeper into the stillness, just as the ancient sages and rishis spoke about and discovered early on, the sound that arises deep in those states of meditation, it's called nada. It's divine sound. It's called the unstruck sound because it's not caused by anything physical. That sound then also takes the form of letters. The letters take the form of mantras, and the mantras serve as a vehicle for taking us back. And so we're making use of this really Shakti, grace-given form of being able to reunite with what our true nature is. And that's what is at the heart of the different mantras that we chant and different practices we do with that. In the Vijnana Bhairava, from the Kashmir Shaivite tradition, an ancient text, it says, "Within is the unstruck inner sound, heard by a subtle ear, resounding continually, and rushing forward like a river. So steeped in Brahman, the Absolute, the Creator, in the form of sound, one attains the Supreme, the Absolute." So it's this dissolving into those sounds, dissolving our ordinary sense of me, of I. That's why we often will talk about with mantra, the root awareness that goes with that is the Hamsa awareness, the awareness of I am that, or the awareness of Shivoham, I am the Absolute, I am the boundless one, or I am Kali, I am the Divine Mother, I am the Infinite who gives birth to all and is all. It's also carrying that awareness, because that awareness is enveloped in the mantra itself. The mantra throbs with that knowing. So when we can dissolve the ordinary patterns of thought, mind, our ordinary sense of me, I, dissolve it into that, then we come home to our boundless nature, our boundless love, our boundless compassion, our boundless patience, our boundless wisdom. So that empowers us then to walk that into the world. So we want to infuse the mind and body with those qualities of our very being, our very essence, so that we carry that into the world. Muktananda used to always talk about how these various traditions and practices, especially drawing on love, because love does dissolve, you know. He would say all sadhanas, all practices without love are nothing but hard labor. So it's not like just bhakti practices are love. Love suffuses it all, because that's our nature. And as we know, when we fall in love with somebody, boundaries dissolve. We merge with that individual. We merge our lives. right? So on the higher level of really the power of consciousness that is suffused with that love, when we enter into that, then the boundaries of our individuality are just invited to dissolve and dissolve and dissolve, so that we dissolve into the boundlessness of that awareness. Plato said, love is the pursuit of the whole. It's love that allows us to merge into that and know the whole, know the unity, know the fullness, the completeness. So the ordinary mind is an instrument for dividing things up, seeing differences. That's useful in this ordinary domain. But to enter into the domain of knowing, that requires the dissolution. And there's nothing more inviting than to dissolve in love. So we make use of that. Mother Teresa wrote, every act of love is a work of peace, no matter how small. So when we're chanting, and we're chanting with that love, you notice we're also, it not only brings us peace ourselves, but we're putting that into the world. We're putting that into the universe. At a time when peace and the dissolution of discord is so in need. So it's a great practice to be doing. And again, a practice that when we do it, we're transforming not only ourselves, but making it available to everyone. The poet saint from the Sufi tradition, the great poet Saint Rumi, wrote about the divine word, mantra, as the utterance of God. And he said, that which God said to the rose and caused it to laugh in full-blown beauty, he said to my heart and made it 100-fold more beautiful. So we go into the heart, and there we find the throb of the infinite in sound form. That's why the Heart Chakra is called the Anahata Chakra. It's unstruck sound. It's the divine as this pulsing, throbbing presence that is pure, all-embracing love. It's entering into that allows us to know, without a doubt, we're completely loved. We're completely lovable. That there's never a time, there's never a place when we're not in God's loving embrace. This is what we come home to. This is why we practice an intellectually born thing. It's the heart. And the heart of the divine is our heart. The heart of the infinite is boundless love. That's our nature. So when we chant, we want to be dissolving into that. It's like we're remembering, oh, that's the truth of who I am. Not all the stuff the mind generates. The truth of who I am is that essence, that love, that throb. So we're going to be chanting some of the chants that we've done in the past, and these are kirtans. So they're Namasankirtan is the kind of traditional name for it. It means chanting the names of the infinite, chanting the names of God. And so we're going to be chanting tonight. And especially these three chants that we're going to do tonight are all invocations of the feminine face of the divine. See, we particularly need her. The masculine in this world has gotten us into a lot of trouble. So we have to undo a lot, right? So we call on the Great Mother. We call on Ma Kali. We call on Tara Ma. We call on Ma. So we'll be chanting the names of the Great Mother. And we're going to start with a chant that is, so it's Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Kali Durga, Jai Jai Ma. Jagadambe means the goddess of the universe. That's her. That's Ma Kali, Jaya Jagadambe. Kali Durga, Kali and Durga, names for the same, this great, great divine presence who takes all forms. One of her forms is the Mahakali Yantra. But the sound form is what we're going to delight in. Jaya Jagadambe, Kali Durga, Jai Jai Ma. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga. Jagadambe, Jai Jai Ma. Om Mata Kali, Om Mother Kali. Oh, Mata Kali. We call on her. We call on her in our love. We call on her in our pain. We call on her in her delight. Oh, Mata Kali. Jagadambe, Jai Jai Ma. Jai Jai means hail, hail. Victory too, victory too. Jai Ma, Jai Ma. So that's what we'll start with. And if I lose my voice along the way, you just keep chanting, okay? So, turn up the speakers. This is time to give the delight and the power of chant and mantra to the whole world, that we touch every being in this world with the grace that flows through mantra. So here we'll begin. Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Jai Ma Jaya Jagadambe Jaya Jagadambe Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Jai Ma Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Jagadambe Jai Jai Ma. Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Jagadambe Jai Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Jai Ma. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Jagadambe Jai Jai Ma. Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Jagadambe Jai Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Jai Ma. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Jagadambe Jai Jai Ma. Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Jagadambe Jai Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Jai Ma. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali Jagadambe Jai Ma. Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga Jagadambe Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali Jagadambe Jai Ma. Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga Jagadambe Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali Jagadambe Jai Ma. Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga Jagadambe Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali Jagadambe Jai Ma. Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga Jagadambe Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali Jagadambe Jai Ma. Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga Jagadambe Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali Jagadambe Jai Ma. Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga Jagadambe Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Kali Jagadambe Jai Ma. Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Durga Jagadambe Jai Ma. Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe, Jaya Jagadambe Kali Durga Jai Ma. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Kali Ma, and Jai Tara Ma, another form of this infinite divine feminine presence. Tara Ma, Om Tare, tu tere, tore soha. Great Tara mantra, invoking that just embracing, loving presence of Tara. Tara who heals, Tara who removes obstacles, Tara who leaps forward to bring whatever her devotees need to move forward. Jai Tarma, Jai Tarma. Om Tere Tu Tere Tore Soha. So we'll chant the Tara mantra. Om Tere Tu Tere Tore Soha. And of course we're flanked here on either side by wonderful tankas of forms of Tara, the black Tara and the red Tara. And this mantra invokes her in her fullness in all her forms. Om Tere Tu Tere Tore Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare 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 Tore Soha. Tare Tu Tare Om Dari Tu Tare Tu Re So Ha. 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 Oh, Dharma, give us the fullness of your heart, the boundless compassion, the strength to walk that into the world, to be a living carrier of your grace. Om Tere Tu Tere Tore Soha. The Divine Mother, Ma, in all her forms, Tara, Kuan Yin, Kali, Parvati, so many forms, Shekinah, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, the Black Madonnas, Grandmother Spirit. She's known throughout the world, throughout the universe. We call on her, the ground of our being, the creator of this form itself. Even the mind is her creation. So who better to rein it in? Who better to purify it? Who better to make it a mirror that reflects her sublime nature. We call on you, O Great Mother. We call on her. Bhajamana Ma, Ma, Ma. Bhajamana Ma means, oh my mind, sing Ma, Ma. That's the next chant. Bhajamana Ma, Ma, Ma. Anandamayi Ma, Ma. Oh blissful Mother, impart that rapture, that joy to us so we can see your presence everywhere. Embrace it in everyone, no matter how deeply it might be hidden. Ma, Ma, that's all there is. Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Benjamin Ma, Anandamayi Ma, In the stillness is her divine embrace. Rest there. Rest there. Oh, Ma. You embrace them. You embrace everyone. Your love knows no bounds. Rest in her love. Rest in that embrace. The embrace of stillness, silence, of Ma. So we end with this prayer, and may all our practices truly benefit everyone, and may all beings know complete freedom from suffering. Namaste. Jai Ma, Jai Kali Ma. She's always there, always so accessible. Call on her. Whether it says Ma Kali, whether it says Tara Ma, Mother Mary, just Ma, Ma, Ma. Take refuge in her. Take refuge in her, and you're taking refuge in your own self, your highest nature, the boundless love, the boundless compassion. You know, in the heart, there's this tiny flame. The flame, the living flame of the divine. It's always present there, radiating love, radiating consciousness, radiating the divine presence. Go there and see that flame. It's extraordinary, that radiance. Make you fall to your knees. Pure reverence, pure love. Right there, already present. The mantras bring us into the heart, to that living presence. And then our mind and our body can carry it forward into the world, into our lives, into our relationships, into our every breath. Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Om Kali Ma. Om Kali Ma. She knows no bounds, nothing she can't do. So keep coming home to her through the chants, through mantra, through just the experience of presence, the stillness, the silence. Even the darkness of mystery and void is her. That's the black bindu at the center of the yantra. It's her portal. That's where everything comes into existence and everything dissolves. Go there. Unfold these mysteries for yourself. So I want to thank you all for coming this evening and bringing the power of your love, your practices, your presence to this evening's program and to the world, really. Chanting wherever you might be, living that devotion that carries it into the world and helps to carry the blessings of the infinite into this world. We're the vehicles for that. That's why in this age we stand for Dharma. We stand for that power, that practice that upholds everyone and everything. So keep coming back to that. Keep walking it into the world. And thank you for bringing the fullness of who you are to this evening's program. And thank you all for the many ways you support Anam Cara by sharing our e-newsletter, sharing the YouTube videos, and making donations. That's allows us to do our seva, our selfless service, by putting this out into the world and doing all we can to keep that flame of truth alive in ourselves and alive in the world. So Again, thank you with all my heart and with all my love for coming this evening. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Namaste.